Night. A lofty arched, narrow, Gothic chamber. Faust, in a chair at his desk, restless. Faust. I've studied now philosophy and jurisprudence, medicine, and even, alas, theology, from end to end, with labor keen, and here, poor fool, with all my lore I stand, no wiser than before. I'm magister, yeah, doctor, height, and straight or crosswise, wrong or right, these 10 years long, with many woes, I've led my scholars by the nose, and see, that nothing can be known. That knowledge cuts me to the bone. I'm cleverer, true, than those fops of teachers, doctors and magisters, scribes and preachers, neither scruples nor doubts come now to smite me, nor hell nor devil can longer affright me. For this, all pleasure am I foregoing, I do not pretend to aught worth knowing, I do not pretend I could be a teacher to help or convert a fellow creature. Then, too, I've neither lands nor gold, nor the world's least pomp or honor hold, no dog would endure such a cursed existence. Wherefore, from magic I seek assistance, that many a secret perchance I reach through spirit power and spirit speech, and thus the bitter task forego of saying the things I do not know, that I may detect the inmost force which binds the world, and guides its course, its germs, productive powers explore, and rummage in empty words no more. O full and splendid moon, whom I have, from this desk, seen climb the sky so many a midnight, would thy glow for the last time beheld my woe? Ever thine eye, most mournful friend, o'er books and papers saw me bend, but would that I, on mountains grand, amid thy blessed light could stand, with spirits through mountain caverns hover, float in thy twilight the meadows over, and, freed from the fumes of lore that swathe me, to health in thy dewy fountains bathe me. Ah, me! This dungeon still I see. This drear, accursed masonry, where even the welcome daylight strains but duskly through the painted panes. Hemmed in by many a toppling heap of books worm-eaten, grey with dust, which to the vaulted ceiling creep, against the smoky paper thrust, with glasses, boxes, round me stacked, and instruments together hurled, ancestral lumber, stuffed and packed, such is my world, and what a world! And do I ask, wherefore my heart falters, oppressed with unknown needs? Why some inexplicable smart all movement of my life impedes? Alas! In living nature's stead, where God his human creature set, in smoke and mold the fleshless dead and bones of beasts surround me yet. Fly up, and seek the broad, free land. And this one book of mystery from Nostradamus' very hand, is not sufficient company? When I the starry courses know, and nature's wise instruction seek, with light of power my soul shall glow, as when to spirits speak. 'Tis vain, this empty brooding here, though guessed the holy symbols be, ye, spirits, come ye hover near, oh, if you hear me, answer me. He opens the book, and perceives the sign of the macrocosm. Ha! What a sudden rapture leaps from this eye view, through all my senses swiftly flowing. I feel a youthful, holy, vital bliss in every vein and fiber newly glowing. Was it a God, who traced this sign, with calm across my tumult stealing, my troubled heart to joy unsealing, with impulse, mystic and divine, the powers of nature here, around my path, revealing? Am I a God, so clear mine eyes? In these pure features I behold creative nature to my soul unfold. What says the sage? Now first I recognize, the spirit world no closures fasten, thy sense is shut, thy heart is dead, disciple, up. Untiring, hasten to bathe thy breast in morning red. He contemplates the sign. How each the whole its substance gives, each in the other works and lives. Like heavenly forces rising and descending, their golden urns reciprocally lending, with wings that winnow blessing from heaven through earth I see them pressing, filling the all with harmony unceasing. How grand is show! But, ah! A show alone. Thee, boundless nature, how make thee my own? Where you, ye beasts? Founts of all being, shining, whereon hang heaven's and earth's desire, whereto our withered hearts aspire, ye flow, ye feed, and am I vainly pining? He turns the leaves impatiently, and perceives the sign of the earth spirit. How otherwise upon me works this sign? Thou, spirit of the earth, art nearer, even now my powers are loftier, clearer, I glow, as drunk with new-made wine, new strength and heart to meet the world incite me, the woe of earth, the bliss of earth, invite me, and though the shock of storms may smite me, no crash of shipwreck shall have power to fright me. Clouds gather over me, the moon conceals her light, the lamps extinguished, mists rise, red, angry rays are darting around my head, there falls a horror from the vaulted roof, and seizes me. I feel thy presence, Spirit I invoke. Reveal thyself. Ha! In my heart what rending stroke! With new impulsion my senses heave in this convulsion. I feel thee draw my heart, absorb, exhaust me, thou must. Thou must. And though my life it cost me. He seizes the book, and mysteriously pronounces the sign of the Spirit. A ruddy flame flashes, the Spirit appears in the flame. Spirit. Who calls me? Faust, with averted head. Terrible to see. Spirit. Me hast thou long with might attracted, long from my sphere thy food exacted, and now. Faust. Woe! I endure not thee. Spirit. To view me is thine aspiration, my voice to hear, my countenance to see, thy powerful yearning moveth me, here am I, what mean perturbation thee, superhuman, shakes? Thy soul's high calling, where? Where is the breast, which from itself a world did bear, and shaped and cherished, which with joy expanded, to be our peer, with us, the spirits, banded? Where art thou, Faust, whose voice is pierced to me, who towards me pressed with all thine energy? He art thou, who, my presence breathing, seeing, trembles through all the depths of being, a writhing worm, a terror-stricken form? Faust. The form of flame, shall I then fear? Yes, I am Faust, I am thy peer. Spirit. In the tides of life, in action's storm, a fluctuant wave, a shuttle free, birth in the grave, an eternal sea, a weaving, flowing life, all glowing, thus at times humming loom 'tis my hand prepares the garment of life which the deity wears. Faust. Thou, who around the wide world windiest, thou busy spirit, how near I feel to thee. Spirit. Thou art like the spirit which thou comprehendest, not me. Disappears. Faust, overwhelmed. Not thee. Whom then? I, image of the Godhead. Not even like thee. A knock. O death, I know it, 'tis my famulus. My fairest luck finds no fruition, in all the fullness of my vision the soulless sneak disturbs me thus. Enter Wagner, in dressing gown and nightcap, a lamp in his hand. Faust turns impatiently. Wagner. Pardon, I heard your declamation, 'twas sure an old Greek tragedy you read? In such an art I crave some preparation, since now it stands one in good stead. I've often heard it said, a preacher might learn, with a comedian for a teacher. Faust. Yes, when the priest comedian is by nature, as haply now and then the case may be. Wagner. Ah, when one studies thus, a prison creature, that scarce the world on holidays can see, scarce through a glass, by rare occasion, how shall one lead it by persuasion? Faust. You'll ne'er attain it, save you know the feeling, save from the soul it rises clear, serene in primal strength, compelling the hearts and minds of all who hear. You sit forever gluing, patching, you cook the scraps from others' fare, and from your heap of ashes hatching a starveling flame, you blow it bare. Take children's, monkeys gaze admiring, if such your taste, and be content, but ne'er from heart to heart you'll speak inspiring, save your own heart is eloquent. Wagner. Yet through delivery orators succeed, I feel that I am far behind, indeed. Faust. Seek thou the honest recompense. Beware, a tinkling fool to be. With little art, clear wit and sense suggest their own delivery, and if thou art moved to speak in earnest, what need, that after words thou yearnest? Yes, your discourses, with their glittering show, where ye for men twist shredded thought like paper, are unrefreshing as the winds that blow the rustling leaves through chill autumnal vapor. Wagner. Ah, God! But art is long, and life, alas, is fleeting. And oft, with zeal my critic duties meeting, in head and breast there's something wrong. How hard it is to compass the assistance whereby one rises to the source. And, haply, ere one travels half the course must the poor devil quit existence. Faust. Is parchment, then, the holy fount before thee, a draught wherefrom thy thirst forever slakes? No true refreshment can restore thee, save what from thine own soul spontaneous breaks. Wagner. Pardon. A great delight is granted when, in the spirit of the ages planted, we mark how, ere our times, a sage has thought, and then, how far his work, and grandly, we have brought. Faust. Oh yes, up to the stars at last. Listen, my friend, the ages that are past are now a book with 7 seals protected. What you the spirit of the ages call is nothing but the spirit of you all, wherein the ages are reflected. So, oftentimes, you miserably mar it. At the first glance who sees it runs away. An awful barrel and a lumber garret, or, at the best, a Punch and Judy play, with maxims most pragmatical and hitting, as in the mouths of puppets are befitting. Wagner. But then, the world, the human heart and brain. Of these one covets some slight apprehension. Faust. Yes, of the kind which men attain. Who dares the child's true name in public mention? The few, who thereof something really learned, unwisely frank, with hearts that spurn concealing, and to the mob laid bare each thought and feeling, have evermore been crucified and burned. I pray you, friend, 'tis now the dead of night, our converse here must be suspended. Wagner. I would have shared your watches with delight, that so our learned talk might be extended. Tomorrow, though, I'll ask, in Easter leisure, this and the other question, at your pleasure. Most zealously I seek for erudition, much do I know, but to know all is my ambition. Exit. Faust, Solus. That brain, alone, not loses hope, whose choice is to stick in shallow trash forevermore, which digs with eager hand for buried ore, and, when it finds an angleworm, rejoices. Dare such a human voice disturb the flow, around me here, of spirit presence fullest? And yet, this once my thanks I owe to thee, of all earth's sons the poorest, dullest. For thou hast torn me from that desperate state which threatened soon to overwhelm my senses. The apparition was so giant great, it dwarfed and withered all my soul's pretenses. I, image of the Godhead, who began deeming eternal truth secure in nearness, to sun myself in heavenly light and clearness, and laid aside the earthly man, I, more than cherub, whose free force had planned to flow through nature's veins in glad pulsation, to reach beyond, enjoying in creation the life of gods, behold my expiation. A thunder word hath swept me from my standpoint 27. With thee I dare not venture to compare me. Though I possessed the power to draw thee near me, the power to keep thee was denied my hand. When that ecstatic moment held me, I felt myself so small, so great, but thou hast ruthlessly repelled me back upon man's uncertain fate. What shall I shun? Whose guidance borrow? Shall I accept that stress and strife? Ah! Every deed of ours, no less than every sorrow, impedes the onward march of life. Some alien substance more and more is cleaving to all the mind conceives of grand and fair. When this world's good is won by our achieving, the better, then, is named a cheat and snare. The fine emotions, whence our lives we mold, lie in the earthly tumult dumb and cold. If hopeful fancy once, in daring flight, her longings to the infinite expanded, yet now a narrow space contents her quite, since time's wild waves so many a fortune stranded. Care at the bottom of the heart is lurking, her secret pangs in silence working, she, restless, rocks herself, disturbing joy and rest, in newer masks her face is ever drayest, by turns as house and land, as wife and child, presented, as water, fire, as poison, steel, we dread the blows we never feel, and what we never lose is yet by us lamented. I am not like the gods. That truth is felt too deep, the worm am I, that in the dust doth creep, that, while in dust it lives and seeks its bread, is crushed and buried by the wanderer's tread. Is not this dust, these walls within them hold, the hundred shelves, which cramp and chain me, the frippery, the trinkets thousandfold, that in this mothy den restrain me? Here shall I find the help I need? Shall here 1,000 volumes teach me only that men, self-tortured, everywhere must bleed, and here and there one happy man sits lonely? 28 What mean'st thou by that grin, thou hollow skull, save that thy brain, like mine, a cloudy mirror, sought once the shining day, and then, in twilight dull, 29 Thirsting for truth, went wretchedly to error? Ye instruments, forsooth, but jeer at me with wheel and cog, and shapes uncouth of wonder, I found the portal, you the key should be, your wards are deftly wrought, but drive no bolts asunder. Mysterious even in open day, nature retains her veil, despite our clamors, that which she doth not willingly display cannot be wrenched from her with levers, screws, and hammers. Ye ancient tools, whose use I never knew, here, since my father used ye, still ye moulder, thou, ancient scroll, hast worn thy smoky hue since at this desk the dim lamp wont to smolder. Tea were better far, had I my little idly spent, than now to sweat beneath its burden, I confess it. What from your father's heritage is lent, earn it anew, to really possess it, 30 What serves not, is a sore impediment, the moment's need creates the thing to serve and bless it. Yet, wherefore comes my gaze to yonder point so lightly? Is yonder flask a magnet for mine eyes? Whence, all around me, glows the air so brightly, as when in woods at night the mellow moonbeam lies? I hail thee, wondrous, rarest vial. I take thee down devoutly, for the trial, man's art and wit I venerate in thee. Thou summary of gentle slumber juices, essence of deadly finest powers and uses, unto thy master show thy favor free. I see thee, and the stings of pain diminish, I grasp thee, and my struggles slowly finish, my spirit's flood tide ebbeth more and more. Out on the open ocean speeds my dreaming, the glassy flood before my feet is gleaming, a new day beckons to a newer shore. A fiery chariot, borne on buoyant pinions, sweeps near me now. I soon shall ready be to pierce the ether's high, unknown dominions, to reach new spheres of pure activity. This godlike rapture, this supreme existence, do I, but now a worm, deserve to track? Yes, resolute to reach some brighter distance, on earth's fair sun I turn my back 31 Yes, let me dare those gates to fling asunder, which every man would fain go slinking by. 'Tis time, through deeds this word of truth to thunder, that with the height of God's man's dignity may vie. Nor from that gloomy gulf to shrink affrighted, where fancy doth herself to self-born pangs compel, to struggle toward that pass benighted, around whose narrow mouth flame all the fires of hell, to take this step with cheerful resolution, though nothingness should be the certain, swift conclusion. And now come down, thou cup of crystal clearest. Fresh from thine ancient cover thou appearest, so many years forgotten to my thought. Thou shonst at old ancestral banquets cheery, the solemn guests thou madest merry, when one thy wassail to the other brought. The rich and skilful figures o'er thee wrought, the drinker's duty, rhyme-wise to explain them, or in one breath below the mark to drain them, from many a night of youth my memory caught. Now to a neighbor shall I pass thee never, nor on thy curious art to test my wit endeavor, here is a juice whence sleep is swiftly born. It fills with brown or flood thy crystal hollow, I chose, prepared it, thus I follow, with all my soul the final drink I swallow, a solemn festal cup, a greeting to the morn. He sets the goblet to his mouth. Chime of bells and choral song. Chorus of angels. Point 32. Christ is arisen. Joy to the mortal one, whom the unmerited, clinging, inherited needs did imprison. Faust. What hollow humming, what a sharp, clear stroke, drives from my lip the goblets, at their meeting? Announced the booming bells already woke the first glad hour of Easter's festal greeting? Ye choirs, have ye begun the sweet, consoling chant, which, through the night of death, the angels ministrants sang, God's new covenant repeating? Chorus of women. With spices and precious balm, we arrayed him, faithful and gracious, we tenderly laid him, linen to bind him cleanly woned we, when we would find him, Christ no more found we. Chorus of angels. Christ is ascended. Bliss hath invested him, woes that molested him, trials that tested him, gloriously ended. Faust. Why, here in dust, entice me with your spell, ye gentle, powerful sounds of heaven? Peal rather there, where tender natures dwell. Your messages I hear, but faith has not been given, the dearest child of faith is miracle. I venture not to soar to yonder regions whence the glad tidings hither float, and yet, from childhood up familiar with the note, to life it now renews the old allegiance. Once heavenly love sent down a burning kiss upon my brow, in Sabbath silence holy, and, filled with mystic presage, chimed the church bell slowly, and prayer dissolved me in a fervent bliss. A sweet, uncomprehended yearning drove forth my feet through woods and meadows free, and while 1,000 tears were burning, I felt a world arise for me. These chants, to youth and all its sports appealing, proclaimed the spring's rejoicing holiday, and memory holds me now, with childish feeling, back from the solemn way. Sound on, ye hymns of heaven, so sweet and mild. My tears gush forth, the earth takes back her child. Chorus of disciples. Has he, victoriously, burst from the vaulted grave, and all gloriously now sits exalted? Is he, in glow of birth, rapture creative near? Ah! To the woe of earth still are we native here. We, his aspiring followers, him we miss, weeping, desiring, Master, thy bliss. Chorus of angels. Christ is arisen, out of corruption's womb, burst ye the prison, break from your gloom. Praising and pleading him, lovingly needing him, brotherly feeding him, preaching and speeding him, blessing, succeeding him, thus is the Master near, thus is he here. Illustration.